The Taal Volcano of the Philippines is getting ready to blow. Shifting ground has been detected around the erupting Philippine volcano, and as seen through NASA satellite images, this is the latest, and it's going to explode, it looks like, because of the deformation and all that's going on there. Taal Volcano threatens to erupt any moment. This is what geologists are warning, and the NASA satellites are tracking the ground deformation around the Philippine volcano, which is active. Sebastian Ketley, Express UK, and we're going to see Volcano Discovery, what they say. The alert level for Taal Volcano is 4. That means that the volcano on Luzon Island could erupt within hours to days. It's been studied and steadily rumbling since it erupted twice this month, January 12th and January 13th. These two eruptions coated the island in a thick blackened of ash. People were evacuated, mostly spread its inhabitants spared from major destruction. Geologists, though, fear hundreds of localized earthquakes around the volcano, suggest that magma is moving deep underground, of course, a potential sign that an explosive eruption is coming. They were using radar data collected by satellites that were passing over the Philippine volcanoes. NASA scientists have been able to detect the changes in the local ground deformation. This technique is known as interferometric synthetic aperture radar, or INSAR for short. These radar scans can calculate the distance between the Philippine volcano and the satellite and then compare the two separate images to find differences in the deformation. And the satellite in question was the European Space Agency, ESA's Sentinel-1B satellite. Now, the difference in color represents small changes in elevation measured in centimeters. Ground movement up to 2.8 centimeters or 1.1 inches shifts from turquoise towards the bright blue end of the spectrum. And according to NASA geophysicist Eric Fielding, he says that the Sentinel-1B scan can snap an image every 6 days, allowing enough time for the ground deformations to become apparent from space, from the aerial images. And unlike other scanning, this type of infrared and visible scans, radars can penetrate through thick clouds and even the darkness of night. So it doesn't matter if you have clouds or day or night, you could still get your readings. The U.S. Geological Survey said, so with the INSAR, it's possible to track ground deformation even in bad weather and at night, two big advantages during a volcano crisis. Midnight on Thursday, January 23rd, that's just a few hours ago, of course, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, PhilVolcs, said that the Taal volcano was showing signs of magmatic intrusion. And also reported that 731 earthquakes on Luzon Islands took place since the first eruption of January 12th. You can understand that these are all signs of magma in flux and its movement, and it's about to explode. The Philippine Seismic Network, PSN, recorded an additional 467 small quakes missed by the PSN in the last 24 hours since this update, and the Philco said that its bulletin alert level 4 still remains in effect over the Taal volcano, which means that hazardous explosive eruption is possible within hours to days. DOST Philcos reiterates total evacuation of Taal Volcano Island and high-risk areas as identified in the hazards map within the 14-kilometer radius from Taal main crater and along the Pansipit River Valley, where fissuring has been observed. So now it's cracking up, as you can see. It's cracking up and there's fissures smoking and steaming. NASA astronaut Christine Koch photographed the erupting volcano from the ISS on Wednesday, 250 miles above the Earth. The astronaut pictured the plume of smoke and steaming venting from Taal's crater. Now, just south of Manila, this is where the Taal volcano is. It stands out ash-covered and otherworldly in the middle of Taal Lake against the surrounding green highlands. It's an island volcanic crater. Now, according to Volcano Discovery, 4 eruption activity, 4 out of 5. And the latest update, 22nd of January, it's had eruptions very frequently. 2020, now that's going on, and even more to come. 1977, 1976, 70, 69, 68, 67, 66, 65, 1911, 1904, 1903, 1885, 1878, 1874, 73, 42, 25, 1808, 1790, 1754, 1749, 1731, 29, 16, 15, 1707, 1709, 1645, 1641, 35, 1634, 1601, 1591, and 1572. So you can see every few years. And the earthquakes are magnitude 2.7, 2.4, 3.4, so you know they're pretty big, some of them. Now the activity of the volcano has continued to show no signs of significant change. Observatory reported it was characterized by weak emissions of white steam-laden plumes, 50 to 500 meters high. Now we know that this Taal volcano, with its lake-filled wide Taal crater, it's beautiful, but it's also one of the most active and dangerous. It's lake-filled, so you can imagine the steaming and the super temperatures, the high temperatures, could make it look like the White Island volcano of New Zealand eruption that we had on December 9. So Taal has had some of the country's largest and deadliest eruptions, at least 6 eruptions during the recorded history of Taal since 1572, claimed fatalities mostly from powerful pyroclastic flows as well as tsunamis produced in the crater lake. It's largely filled by Taal Lake. Its 276 square kilometer surface lies only 3 meters above sea level. That's nothing. It's very close to sea level, as you can see. The maximum depth of the lake is 160 meters. It contains several eruptive centers submerged beneath the lake. All historic eruptions took place from 5-kilometer wide volcanic island in the northern center part of the lake. The island is formed by overlapping stratovolcanoes, cinder cones, and tuff rings, which are Mars. Historic eruptions have seen the constant change and growth of this island. Taal caused one of the worst volcanic disasters in history. Its eruption in 1911 took the lives of 1,334 and caused ash falls as far as Manila. Due to its devastating potential, Taal was declared one of the decade volcanoes in the Decade Volcanoes program in 1990s in order to incentive study and monitoring of the volcano, and Taal is today one of the most closely monitored volcanoes in the region. An increase in seismic activity under Taal recorded in November of 2006, followed by an increase in hot water springs in the crater in 2007. So, as we said, this is about to explode. It's about to blow, it looks like. We'll keep an eye on this. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.